What's up, everybody? This is Lyle with No Hippie Barbecue, and in this video I'm going to be getting extremely hippie. What I'm going to be making today is going to be some Pan Grilled Tofu Sandwiches. Anyway, I was thinking about doing the tofu out on the grill, but then I thought that a lot of people that are eating tofu probably don't have grills, so we're just going to knock that out in a cast iron skillet. Anyway, the concept is very simple. What we're going to do is marinate our vegetables for about 3 hours, our tofu for about the same amount of time, and then we're going to grill it off and make sandwiches out of it. Anyway, come on in and take a look at what these ingredients are. What we're going to need to get this sandwich done the way I want to get it done, we have some cilantro. I'm going to go ahead and throw that in our bowl. We have some thinly sliced red onions. We have some jalapenos that are thinly sliced. Some red onions that are thinly sliced as well. And we have some tomatoes that I have sliced. We'll work on the marinade for that here in just a little bit. Now the tofu we're using, from everything I've read, you want to use a firm tofu, so that's what we're using. For our marinade, for our vegetables, we're going to be using some olive oil, some balsamic vinegar, and that's reduced, so we're going to have to thin that out a little bit. And we're going to use some sake cooking wine for that. As far as the marinade, and we're going to also use some salt and pepper. The marinade for the tofu is going to be soy sauce, olive oil, and the sake wine, or cooking wine as well, and a little bit of salt and pepper. Actually, we're not going to use any salt and pepper seasoning, excuse me. We got the soy sauce for that. And what we're going to be using is some Munster cheese on that as well. So let's get started with this marinade. One of those things where there's not a specific recipe. This is something we're kind of throwing together. Anyway, let's get started on this vegetable marinade. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to be eyeballing everything on this. Let's get some olive oil in. Now this balsamic vinegar is reduced, so it's a little bit thicker, so we're going to have to thin that out a little bit with this sake cooking wine. I thought that would be great in this. And let's go with our salt and pepper, or salt, pepper, garlic mix, and mix it up. Man, it looks good. Let's taste it. You know what this is missing? Let me run over to the cabinet right quick. It's missing a little bit of honey up in here. I think honey would be a great addition to this. Let's go with about a tablespoon and a half of honey. Alright, now that we got this mixed in, that's excellent. We're just going to go ahead and pour it over our vegetables. Now it may not look like it's covering it that much right now, but what I'm going to do is we are going to toss this together and cover it all, and it will kind of start wilting these vegetables, so we should be good to go. That is some good stuff. Alright. You know what, I'm going to use the same bowl. Let's get started with the marinade we're going to use for this tofu. I'll go with the same olive oil. And I kind of like how that balsamic vinegar tastes. We're going to go ahead and roll with some more of that. That cooking wine. And our soy sauce. And after tasting that first marinade we made, I will be adding a little bit of honey to this as well. Sometimes this is what cooking's all about. It's not about reading a recipe and going and trying to duplicate it. It's like, you know what? I saw somebody do this. Let me just kind of wing it and throw it together. That's what I'm doing right now. but they didn't make it anywhere near this. They just kind of gave me the ideas. Alright, so we got that marinade made. Let's go ahead and get this tofu out. So now it's time to get this tofu cut up into slices. What I did do is remove the tofu from the package and got a paper towel and just kind of blotted it dry to get as much moisture out as I could. These vegetables already look like they've absorbed a lot of that marinade, so we're going to go ahead and set this aside. And we're just going to go ahead and slice this tofu up. And I'm going to pour a little bit of this marinade into the bottom of this little pot here. And then when I cut this tofu up, we're just going to put it in there, and then we're going to make sure that there's marinade on all sides of this tofu. I'm cutting it fairly thin. We're going to be looking at like maybe 1/4 of an inch. Okay, now that we have this tofu cut up, just going to add it to the marinade we have in here. Pour the rest of the marinade on these, and this is going to go in the refrigerator. It's going to have a good 4 hours to marinate. So I just got this tofu out of the refrigerator. Boom, that's what that's looking like. I have my pan heated up. We have it kind of on a medium-low. Now we're just going to, I have it sprayed down with some olive oil spray as well, since we're not going too high temp. And now we're just going to go ahead and grill these off. And we're just going to want some color on both sides. Okay, I just tested one. It looks like they're about ready to flip, and that only took about 1.5 minutes. I just checked the other side. It looks like it's browned up already. So what I did was I do want it to get kind of warm on the inside. So I just turned the stove off and just going to let that residual heat cook it through. Got this tofu out of the skillet. I let that sit in there for about 15-20 minutes. Firmed it up just a little bit, so I'm good with that. Now it's time to make these sandwiches. Really all I'm doing, I'm using some Munster cheese. And we're just going to go ahead and put 3 slices on each side. Alright. Now we're just going to go ahead and add this tofu. Let's see. I want to add that on the bottom. Yep, there we go. So 3 pieces of tofu on each, or 3 pieces per sandwich. So I'm making 1 more sandwich, so I'm going to go ahead and set this aside. And now these vegetables, what I did after they were done marinating, I did strain out that liquid. So it wasn't going to, make the sandwich too wet or anything. Now we're just going to go ahead and add some of the vegetables to the top. And I can tell you that these peppers are hot. So here's what the sandwich looks like before it goes in the panini press. So this is what the sandwich looks like before we put it in the panini press. We're just going to go ahead and flip that over and get it into our press. We are not going to flatten this out. We're just going to kind of let that sit on top just to kind of melt the cheese. That should take about 2-3 minutes, and there'll be time to taste it and see what's up. Well, this is a done deal. For me, this is living on the wild side. So let's see what me and Hetty Murphy over here think about this tofu sandwich.
Sandwich has some kick to it.
It's definitely hot.
Mm-hmm. The tofu's nice when it's grilled. Got a nice crisp to it on the edges.
You know what? This is not my favorite sandwich in the world. The flavor is good, but something about that texture of the tofu is just a little something I'm not used to. So, I hope all my hippies out there like this, because he likes it. He eats more tofu and stuff than I do, so maybe it's an acquired taste. Anyway, it's not bad. I just can't get over that sponginess. Anyway, thanks for stopping by No Hippie Barbecue. I appreciate it. Comment, subscribe, and I'm out.